Buddhism is very profound. It's very detailed and has a lot of philosophy and a lot of psychology. So we should always see what fits our practice, what fits what we can study and what we can put into practice. Yeah. We don't teach Buddhism to make people Buddhists, right? So it's up to the individual. Yeah, there's so many forms of religion or faith. So people should analyze and check which form of faith or religion is for them the best, so to say, for own development. And then even within Buddhism, as you know, there's various traditions. So it's good initially to examine well, and then you might come to a conclusion to study one particular tradition and then stick with that tradition for some time and then get a good understanding of it, and then you can study some other things on the side, right? So that's kind of a general approach, and it's personal, right? For me, Buddhism was something I could find all the answers, and it's so rich in mind science and philosophy. Even if you combine it with modern scientific findings, there's a lot of kind of common ground, right? So it's quite of a very interesting field of the science of the mind and its philosophy. So mind science in Buddhism is kind of what we call Buddhist psychology, right? So if you examine how well defined various types of mind are, as we know, we have, 5 sensory perceptions, mental consciousness, there's a huge variety of certain mental factors that accompany the main mind. And if you then look into the details of its definition, its nature, its function, it's extremely rich and extremely clear to understand more about destructive emotions, and if you have destructive emotions, how to deal with it and how to have actually a more sustainable form of happiness, right? So in that way, I think it's very sophisticated. Yeah. From the point of view of being more a beginner, so to say, right, in Buddhism, then studying about destructive emotions. What are destructive emotions? What do they do to you? What do they do to you? How do you react in a verbal or physical way? What are the mental kind of complications of destructive emotions? So you analyze that, right? So that needs you get the knowledge from the scripture and from the explanations, and then you have to put it into practice. You have to see, is that really true? Is a destructive emotion like anger really produces a mind that is unhappy? Really produces a mind that is not clear? Really produces a mind that actually gets irritated and you might verbally abuse a person, right? So those aspects you have to analyze, and that's what we call the practice, right? And then you analyze a kind of a positive emotion or constructive emotion like patience and see how that mind is. Yeah, so you get the knowledge from the text and then you have to put it into practice, right? So that's, we cannot live like Milarepa, right? So we have to be realistic. How much you study Buddhism and how much you want to put it into practice. But the main purpose is to put it into practice, because if it's just kind of logic and academic kind of, studies, then you don't get the benefits it can bring, right? So that's why it's very essential to use it in our daily life, especially with our emotional aspects of our well-being, how to increase this well-being and increase the well-being of others. Yeah.